Hello there, it's Ben here from the Pride of Villa, and this is a very late video that I'm making, so apology for some audio and location setup. But it's quite a big topic I've got to talk about here. As you may be aware of when this video is released, there's obviously been talks for months now about a European Super League, which would be contesting of Europe's biggest and best clubs within the world coming together to form one big league, and essentially teams coming together, playing a midweek game between the best of the best. As of, well, it's currently the 19th of April now, but as of the 18th of April 2021, it has been officially announced that talks between a Super League has come to place, with 12 Europe's biggest clubs coming together and agreeing on establishing this league. So I thought in this video we'd obviously discuss what is happening, what this actually means for football, my opinions on it, and how as much as it is going to be a massive negative, try and find some sort of positive spin on this. If you are going to enjoy this video, please leave a like on the video, subscribe. Let's get the subscriber count going up, because I really hope you guys are going to enjoy this video and feel the same way about it that I do, and there's millions of football Villa fans and Twitter fans in general are feeling right now. So without further ado, let's get started. So obviously the announcement went out last night. 12 of Europe's biggest teams have come together to essentially create this Super League that is apparently going to be taking place as effective of 2021 to 2022. Now, the 12 teams in question are obviously the top 6 of the Premier League. This is Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspurs. In addition to that, we have the 3 biggest teams from Serie A, so that's AC Milan, Juventus and Inter Milan. We have also got 3 big teams from the Spanish league, La Liga, so that's Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Now, FC Bayern and Borussia Dortmund were also rumoured to be joining, but they have apparently turned it down, and the same goes with the likes of PSG that have turned this down. But there is also speculation that there is potentially going to be some more clubs joining, as they are looking to expand and add 3 more teams before looking to see how much more bigger they can make this league. What do you say? It's a shambles. It's an absolute shambles what is happening. I'm sure people are watching this now. You've seen what people have said on Twitter. You've seen the videos, the reactions. There's a lot of way to look at this, and it is simply down to a money side. If this was a business that was meant for the fans, this would have never taken place. But because of the owners, because of people like the Glazers, like your Kroenkes, like your Abramoviches, they just want to make money. And this is essentially what it is. Reportedly, they get paid $1 billion or $1 billion or something to start out with, and every season, regardless of the placement, they go up to 350 to 450 million pounds to spend. And essentially, as Mark Goldbridge best put it, if you want to go watch his reaction, I really highly recommend it. Essentially, it reduces teams like your Aston Villas, like your Leicesters, like your teams in Serie A and La Liga. They're just going to soak up all these talented players, all these best players, and essentially leave the lower clubs with nothing, whilst these big teams now have the best players and essentially are attracting everybody to go and watch this product, because if you want to see the best of the best, this is where it's going to be. And it's not acceptable, This is not football. We're not going to see, from an Aston Villa fan's perspective here, 7-2, a really bloody amazing result that I saw this season. It was truly incredible. Doing the treble over Arsenal for this season and the last home game of the last season. Getting to play Man City in the Carabao Cup final. So many great memories of playing these big teams and actually giving them a go now. And the fact that we're not going to get to have these big moments, even if a team not like Aston Villa, but teams across Europe that are trying to place a fight for Champions League. They're not going to get to play these big teams, not going to have these big moments. You know, as Thogden says, you know, they're not going to see the Bolton Wanderers play Atletico Madrid anymore. Because they've now segregated themselves from the rest of the world, and it's just an absolute shambles. And as I said, it's a money perspective. It's nothing about the fans, because if it was for the fans, you wouldn't be doing this. But it's simply to keep themselves in the pocket, even though they're already rich enough as it is. But how much more money do you need before you say, I've got enough now? It's time to move on, and it's just not acceptable. I just think it's absolutely going to kill football now. Yeah, and it just really puts into doubt the point in the Super League. You know, Arsenal and Tottenham having crap seasons, and they're still considered the top six by contention, by history. Imagine what they're going to be like. You know, there's no deduction for relegation. There's nothing for finishing mid-table. You're only going to go for the title. So what's the point in being in the league then if you're only just going to be staying in the middle of the table, which they probably end up going to keep doing over and over again? And now on that point of there's nothing to play for, according to UEFA, from what I believe, players go and play in those tournaments anymore. I believe from what I saw, players' perspective, it also means internationally they're not able to play there anymore. And UEFA are really plugging hard at this to try and stop it. Now, fair play to UEFA, because I think they agree in the sense that people at times, but with this, they're apparently trying to sue these clubs for 50 to 60 billion pounds, and essentially making sure that this doesn't happen, because they know, yes, we know they're bad people at times, but they know they want to keep money together, and they want to keep an era of football together before something like this actually materialises and becomes something bad. And it's a real shame. It's going to be really disappointing knowing that in the future's time, we're not going to get to see Aston Villa play these big teams anymore if this does go ahead, because of this ridiculousness in making this league happen. But in terms of that, let's look at what this does mean. First of all, smaller clubs, more than ever, it takes, you know, the revenue off of them. It means that, you know, that idea of fighting for promotion is a bit more pointless now. Because they're not going to get the big money rewards onto it, since it's all going to go to this Super League. The likes of Championship, League 1 and League 2 players, these clubs thrive on these money. We've seen it, what's happened to the likes of Bury FC, what happened to Bolton. And let's not forget, we're in the midst of a global pandemic, and how it's financially not just affected the world of sports, how it's affected the economy as a whole. It's truly shambolic. But the likes of the Premier League now, the likes of Aston Villa, I know people want to say, oh, that makes it easiest for now to win the title. And I would say in some cases, yes. You know, it does mean that it gives essentially a new refreshing look on the tables, as we're going to be seeing. Potentially new faces winning the Premier League. I'd still be going with Leicester to win the Premier League in that case. We'll be seeing new Premier League teams, a new 20 teams that we didn't expect to be seeing in this day and age, because of where they are right now, and because of what's happened, they're just going to be instantly bumped up to it. It's very interesting to see how that means. And I actually put a tweet out on this. I'm very thankful for being the likes of an Aston Villa fan, and also for people like Nottingham Forest, Leicester, Leeds, West Ham, for not being a part of this, because it means that, you know, they haven't fallen corruption to this money scheme, and they really see it in the sense that this is about the fans. This is a fan-driven sport. If we're not playing for the fans, then why are we playing? And I think that's something that really needs to be looked at, not just for football, but a load of other types of sport. And essentially, it means that we can now get these load of rubbish people out of this football world, get them out, and essentially build our own little new world and build a new era of modern football that can really rise above the Super League. And who knows, if the Super League does go ahead, eventually it could be cancelled. They could somehow squirm their way back in if they've paid a certain fee or they accept a certain year ban on playing in the football, the European Championship leagues. It really shows how much, as a fan base, as a football in United, we need to stand together and say this is not acceptable. Whether you think this is fine, if you accept and you're happy that this is happening, that's your opinion. I think, and speaking of the majority of people here, this is just not the way that football should be going. This is not how football should be. And I think it's time that we do step up and step above this. Just reading here, just read through some notes, make sure I'm not missing anything. It's apparently looking to begin in August. They're trying to make sure that they have maintain a men's league and clubs players being able to continue competing in the national leagues. And actually something here that's very interesting from Sky News. It's apparently rumoured that once they have this main competition stable, the possibility of a women's league football being introduced. Now, I'm going to come out and be honest, I don't think women's football is as exciting or as near the popularity as men's football, because personally I just don't think the quality is the same there as watching the men's. But then again, they don't get the screen time, they don't get as much emphasis on TV, on all the viewers that they deserve. I think that it's bad already as enough as it is, but imagine what it'd do to the women's football side of things. How would they be able to put eyes on it if if a small audience of fans are watching the women's league football? How are they meant to cope with this Super League now? It'd be very interesting to see how they would be going ahead with this, and ultimately it's just one of the things we're just going to have to wait and see. I think we're all keeping our fingers crossed here and hoping UEFA or something happens where this just does not go ahead. But as a lot of people are saying on Twitter, as a lot of people are saying everywhere on YouTube and all that, it really does feel like football's dying today or yesterday. And as I said, I'm so thankful to be a Villa fan, and hopefully we look at teams locally now, we give them more of our time and more of our attention, stop paying out to these bigger clubs, and we say enough is enough, we don't need you anymore, go build your own world, we'll build our world, and we'll build our new era of football without you. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this video. Hopefully you did enjoy. Please leave your comments and thoughts in the comments box down below. We want to hear what you think about this Super League. You've heard us, let's hear what you obviously think. You can go follow us on Twitter and Instagram as well to get our instant reactions there as well. But without further ado, I've been Ben. Up the Aston Villa, up the Leeds, up the West Ham, up the Leicester, up the Nottingham Forest, up the Wycombe Wanderers, and we'll see you later, boys.